Up next on Live It Up, it is an authority in children's book writing. We have Liza Burby. How are you?
I'm great. It's good to see you again.
You came on my show back in 2004 talking about this book, and now this is version 2.
It is.
Ta-da! So I had to have you back on. Okay, so this is how to publish your children's book.
Yes.
A guide.
It is a guide. Yes.
It is step by step. If they get from page 1 to the end, chances are they can do it?
That is the plan. That is the plan.
Because I have a children's book and I want to publish it. And so if I can do it, you can do it. So buy this book. So tell us about the process. So there are children's book authors that you say are true game changers in our industry. Who are they to you?
Oh, a lot has changed since I wrote the book, the first edition of the book, in the sense that there have been game changers like J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, which most people don't remember this, but there was no New York Times children's bestseller list until Harry Potter. There was no pre-sales on children's books until Harry Potter. There were no events, marketing events until Harry Potter. So that, in that sense, J.K. Rowling changed the industry, which it makes us all be able to make much more money, which is great, but there's also a high level to aspire to. Other game changers were the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. It brought dystopian literature into the children's market. And then John Green's The Fault in Our Stars. And the thing about his book that is a game changer is that it's literary. The writing is superior, the story is just so emotional. And the problem with all of what I've told you is that now we need to rise to that level as writers, because that's what the industry is looking for. It's a great problem to have, because writing is so fun, I think. But learning how to be in the business, how to get yourself into the business, is the other part. So there's the creative end, which is you just embrace it. But then understanding that children's book publishing is a business is so important for us as writers, because you need to learn to navigate your way through what the game changers have done, what the industry is looking for, and they're always looking for the next big thing. I guess every industry is doing that, but we just want to write because it's fun. But you can't just write. Sorry, that's the reality of it.
And when we met, you had 11 children's books published, and now you said 38.
I have 38 published, yes.
Liza, that is such a wonderful accomplishment.
Thank you.
I mean, that's leaving a legacy, not just for, you know, your children, but your children's children and so forth and so on, and an entire community of generations. You know, like a children's book, I mean, that lasts forever, you know, and it really is impactful. So I'm just going to ask you this. Do you personally have a favorite? Is your first one still always your favorite, or like?
It's right now my favorite is the young adult novel that I have my agents trying to get published for me. But I hear from kids still about the books, and their favorite is my book about tornadoes. I'm not sure why, but that's what they like.
And they like it.
And you know, we always have to remember what hasn't changed since I wrote my first edition of this book is that our main audience is children. And what they care about and what they love, what they're passionate about, it doesn't change. They just want a good story that makes them feel that they have a new friend. And we're not the friend, but we're providing the friend through a new story. So in that regard, it's a wonderful industry to be a part of.
Who were your storytellers in life that would like tell you a story before you went to sleep, or you know, that would read to you? Who were those champions for you?
The person who introduced me to a love of reading was my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. We would go to the library together once a week, and those days they gave us limited. I would have the books read on the bus on the way home, and I'd have to wait till the next week. But she introduced me to Little Women. It was her favorite, Louisa May Alcott, and I discovered Laura Ingalls Wilder on my own. And there's something about these two powerful women that my grandmother was all tied up in that. And it's just like, as a child, I just learned to love reading. And then at 6, I decided I want to be a part of that too. So I got my first rejection letter when I was 12. I've been writing for a long time. And I still get rejection letters. It's okay.
It is okay.
Part of the work.
It is okay. And I'm sure you probably, you know, talk a little bit about that in your book as well. And, you know, for me too, it was actually my paternal grandmother. I would go to my Grandma Campana's house, and there was always this box that was decorated with Wink and Blink and a Nod. And inside were all these wonderful books, like Gumby and Pokey, like all these books, right? And she would read to us. And I hadn't thought about that childhood memory in so long until I'm sitting here with you now, Liza. But it was absolutely like that. And we would cuddle up. And now to this day, when I go see my niece and nephew, Dominic and Lila, in St. Louis, Missouri, the first thing I do is I sit on the ground and I'll be like, okay, go get a book. And they sit and snuggle on my lap and we read. So this is fabulous. Literally, you could just take the book, though, step by step, and that at least is a resource guide for people.
So
a place to start.
Just to focus, it's focused on the business. It's focused on, I mean, there is a whole chapter about knowing where your book fits in, whether it's an easy reader or a middle grade. Right now, knowing that young adult is hard to get into because everyone wants the next John Green. Middle grade is an area where you might have more of a shot in terms of, again, understanding the industry. But you have to start with a story that is high concept, that you want to tell, that has entertainment value and is literary as well. And my book teaches you to make sure that you have the right category. A lot of writers get rejected because they think they've written a middle grade book, but their character is 8 years old. You need to know where that fits in. So there's a whole chapter on that, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is how you approach the industry. Okay. If you want to be part of the big 7, I think it's 6 now. It keeps consolidating. You need an agent. You need a literary agent. But the approach to get a literary agent is the same approach you would use to find an editor who wants to publish your book.
Excellent.
So
thank you.
Again.
And it's so nice of you to be generous and having this knowledge and being willing to share it. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, hey, this book's for you. Get it. This is your call to action right here, right now. Donna Drake, I'm going to do it, and you can do it. And I can't wait to hear your results. Thanks for watching. Live it up.